Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. I've already shuffled and washed the cards. I'm just going to give them one more cut here. And we will begin the reading with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is a stable card to begin a reading with. This is the underlying energy. The Four of Pentacles, it's not an exciting card, but it does say that you have a strong foundation. You may have been playing it safe, and that's keeping you smaller than you could be. This energy is saying it's time to really put yourself out there, and because this is, the foundation is, he's got both his feet on the pentacles, so that represents the strong foundation. And there's the heart's desires and then the crowning glory. And so you want to get to the crowning glory stage, not at the safe money stage. Excuse me. And so this energy is, he's got the big city behind him and lots of people, lots of energy, lots to work with here. And let's see here. I'm just going to double check that this, yeah, this is going to fit good. Oh, so we go from the Four to the Nine of Pentacles. Excuse me. I swallowed wrong here. So the Nine of Pentacles is speaking about the ratio that Nikola Tesla talks about, the 369. If you knew the beauty of the 369, then you would have the key to the universe. So this is saying that, you know, she's got 3 coins in the bush here, which she's willing to give to charity or to benefit her family or the community. And then she's keeping 6 for herself, so that it adds up to 9, because she knows that she needs to look after herself first to be able to continue to supply for others. And she's got the falcon on her hand here, and this is it's on her left hand, and it's just showing that she sends the bird out to fly and get a really good view and then come back, and she uses her intuition. So it's saying about being able to use your intuitive eye to make those choices. So we start off with a strong foundation and we go all the way, bang, to Nine of Pentacles. That's pretty awesome. And we have the Lovers. So what happened in between this and that? So the Lovers are here, and this card represents, generally it does represent romantic love, but it also can represent choices of what you love and who you love and why you love and where you love, all those things, those energies. So there is some clouds between these two people, showing that they maybe don't know each other as well as they think they do, but the sun is shining on the relationship, and we do have plenty of, like, the pentacles do represent coin, but they also represent health, wealth, and fulfillment. So let's see what this is about. Maybe you just needed to leave the city behind you and move to this new place, and bang, all this beautiful energy is coming in. Yeah, so, and that's what the next card is. It's about standing on your castle, on the turret of your castle, and overlooking, surveying the land and saying, you know, I want more. I want to move to here, or I want to move to this other country. I want to move to a different city. I feel like I've done everything I can here. I'm standing on the top here and looking over my domain, and it's time to move in another direction. And it's the energy of a big fish in a small pond, recognizing that you've done as well as you can here, and that if you want to have more, so it could be you still have this foundation here, but this is your desire, and it could be about, like, you always wanted to move to another country and you want to do that kind of energy, something that you love to do, and it could be something you love to do or love to be, or something that you love to do or be with someone you love. which is even better. Oh, and then we have the soulmates card come in. So yeah, now we have 2 cups of love here. And so that represents this energy here. So I'm getting that there is romantic love in the picture, and that's causing the energy of wanting to make changes, you know, in your lifestyle, in where you live, how you live, all of that energy, which makes sense. This card can also represent like this can represent the masculine and the feminine energy coming together as one within you, like being 50-50, which is makes you really strong. And then the soulmates, when they come together and they're lovers and they're both strong in their masculine and feminine energies, then when the two unite, 1 + 1 = infinity, because it brings up all these infinite possibilities. So these 2 cups the soulmate card can also represent you and your higher self, you and your masculine and feminine energy coming together to get what you want here, and to expand your horizons. That's what's coming up. Oh, and then we have the 10 of Cups. This is awesome, like a lot of prosperity here, a lot of fulfillment, like dreams coming true energy. So yes, I feel like this is talking about romantic love, because we have the lovers here, the soulmates, and we have 10 cups. And you can't get more than, you have 9 pentacles and you have 10 cups, a strong foundation, you know. It's beautiful energy. This is what a lot of people want. And this is just, this bottom line, what I'm building here is a pyramid. And this energy is, this bottom line is what you need to be able to move forward. You have more than what you need. You have what most people want to have. And I end the reading at the beginning. And so then the King of Swords comes in and says, I don't think so. I want more. Or maybe this is the strong foundation is what you have. But now this is saying, okay, now we're going to build on this, and this is what we're working towards. This is the goal. And so the King of Swords is sitting on his throne with the sword ready. And this is showing, like, the sword actually is a double-edged sword. It represents your mental capacities, like your intelligence, your control over your mind. And it's like he has his sword at the ready. And this is saying that the King of Swords is well known for his ability to use words really wisely. And, you know, this is generally someone that's professional, someone who's very well educated and looked up to because of their ability to bring shift into being, basically. And what's interesting is we also have in the swords, in the tarot, the suit of the swords, on the face cards, there's flocks of birds in the background. And in this one, we have 2 birds. And so it's like, I'm getting this is talking about what you're thinking about, what you want, and thinking about what you want to do. And I'm just getting, the king has given this a lot of thought and this energy, and this is what the king wants, and he knows who he wants it with, and that's what he's, that's what he's going for. The King of Swords uses his words and knows that words have a lot of power, but talk is cheap and action speaks louder than words. So I'm getting that. Now we're going to be moving into, okay, we know we have what we need for sure here. Now, how are we going to move this into manifesting? Like, what are the obstacles that we need to overcome to do it? And there's one more card for the bottom row here. There we have it. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. This king is ready to go. He knows exactly what he wants, and he's going for it. That's bottom line. And I should just mention that, these are archetypes, that the tarot represents archetypes. So this King of Swords, like any of these energies, can be like one person, like here. That could be you embodying these energies. And it can also be, this could be a woman in her masculine energy. And the Knight of Cups comes in. So when the Knight of Cups comes in, like the knights all bring messages and they work for the king. So the king is sending out a message. And these days, like in the old days, the knights would all be male, but they could be a female. And generally it's someone that's they're at least 21 years of age, and they work they're in a higher position, like apprentice or you know, closely in the inner circle of the King of Swords, basically. And the messages these days could be through mail, they could be through texts, emails, letters, like that kind of energy. It could be a phone call, because there's so many ways that we have to communicate. Like it's probably not going to come in on a horse, but you never know, it could. So we'll see what happens here. But this is the message generally when it comes from the Knight of Cups. This is the shining armor, or the knight in shining armor, sorry. And he's bringing a cup of love. And so with the cards, we have the lovers here and the soulmates, and this total fulfillment. This is feels like it's a relationship that's about to move forward. Although, if that's not resonating with you, it can also mean that the Knight of Cups is bringing a promotion. You made the team. You got the scholarship kind of energy, like that kind of, like it's about either being with who you love or doing yourself, being what you love, doing what you love, and best of all, if you can be and do it with who you love. It's a really beautiful energy. And this energy here is saying that the king has worked hard for this. This is the wounded warrior energy. And so this is saying that he's had to take actions in the past, and he knows how to take action. I'm getting, and at some point, like this could represent someone like, let's say, just for an example, that you're someone that is a carpenter and you are a framer, and then you work really hard and you plant all these wands and you do what you need to do, and now you have the money to be able to be your own contractor and build houses for other people, or, you know, like that kind of energy, or start. But the King of Swords is quite often a professional person. So it could be you finished school and you worked hard to get to the top of the class sort of energy so that you could have this fulfillment. And now you have, you know, if you're going to be a lawyer, you have the... You've passed the bar. If you're going to be a doctor or a surgeon, or at the top of your field is what's coming up, you have the paperwork. You've put the work in. You're now ready to go. You're a professional. And here we have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is it's a more youthful version of the Knight of Cups. In the old days, the pages would start working for the royalty, for the king and the queen, for around the age of 7 to 14. And they would deliver, you know, short messages and do small tasks. And then if they were, you know, they were doing a really good job, they could then be knighted by the king and or the queen, and they could be in this energy now where they're a knight, as long as they could afford a horse. But so the Page of Cups is also bringing in communication. And he's very focused on this one cup. There's this water in the background, which represents in the tarot emotions and movement and flow. And you notice the fish is out of water here, and he's very focused on this cup. He knows that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but this is the fish that he's focused on, and that's the fish he wants. That's the cup. So this represents, I feel like, a person, and it could be a water sign, this energy. So it doesn't have to be. It just popped in my head because of the water. But so the cups are, they're representing, I feel like this could represent someone that has always wanted this. They've admired someone and maybe bumped into them again, or like they haven't seen them for a while and now they've seen them. It's almost energy like that. Or it could be a brand new person like you bump into and you look at each other and you just know each other. That beautiful kind of energy. What they call love at first sight. Then we have temperance, and temperance this is something that you've always waited for. This is something that has been in the works for a while. This energy of wanting this love and I'm getting it's around this King of Swords. This is someone that has given this a lot of thought. They know what they want, and now they're moving forward to get it. And really, if they've already got someone they're focused on, and they've waited patiently, this could say like it took them a while to get there because they didn't want to sell themselves short, and they weren't going to settle until they had, met the person that they love. Like it could be this energy with the lovers could represent what people refer to as the twin flame, which is almost like it would be like identical twins rather than it would be like identical twins rather than paternal or paternal twins. So that kind of energy is, like that they're a total match and that they were meant to be together. But twin flames don't necessarily, and soulmates don't necessarily have to be romantic partners. Having said that, here with this energy, I feel it is. And this energy is about moving forward and having had the patience to wait so that you were able to get exactly like what you want, the person you want, and you would be able to have the lifestyle you want is what's coming up also. Yeah, and there was a lot of work put into it. I'm getting that. Because here now we have the 8 of Pentacles and here's the 9 of Pentacles. So it's saying it required a lot of patience and due diligence, devotion to your life path. And you've put the work in, and now it's saying, okay, I've put the work in and I'm almost, I almost have these 8 Pentacles lined up. And that's kind of the energy here is that's why there's 9 now. What would make, health, wealth, happiness would be having a partner now. And then we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is a young version of the Knight of Swords, just like the Page of Cups. And the Page of Swords is the only page in the deck that's not focused on the element that he's bringing in. And this is talking about like the thought is over, like the message is coming in, it's already been decided. And that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. So what more do you need, right? And then you notice he has a whole flock of birds in the background there. So this is someone who has this, like, I'm just getting that the energy is like really embracing life like a younger person and really having enthusiasm and being really excited about the path that your life is taking right now. That's awesome energy, especially when this comes up and it hasn't always been that way. That's it's almost like an energy I never thought that this could actually happen to me. That's what the energy I'm picking up. So this represents a never-ending nightmare of like maybe, having bad luck dating, having bad luck in romance or whatever. I don't get that. That was the case with the Pentacles. But it's kind of like the King of Swords is smart enough to know that he won't feel totally fulfilled. He won't have the happiness that he wants to have unless he has the love of his life. And perhaps before it was an energy of like a revolving door. Because the knight in shining armor, let's face it, like he's quite the catch, right? and so this energy that's coming in is just saying that maybe in the past, what he thought he was going to have, he didn't. And it's happened several times, but this time it's coming in and it feels really strong. Yeah, and look at that. We have the 10 of Pentacles then. I'm just getting, what it's saying is the time of waiting is over. Because now this 9 of Pentacles is 10 of Pentacles. And, you know, you've got the soulmates and the lovers and the 10 of Cups, which is like fulfillment and romance and love. This is a really beautiful reading. And the Page of Wands is coming in now. And this energy is like the younger Knight of Wands. And so we've got pages coming in with messages. So it feels like there's some messages going back and forth, or it can represent the thoughts here that I feel like that he's letting go of, that this energy is letting go of, like no longer the wounded warrior. It's similar, like the 9, if you look at this, the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Wands, they're both like, they've been through it, and it's actions in the past that they've taken or not taken, and thoughts in the past that they've had or not had, and taken action on, is what I'm getting. Yeah, trial and error. But now, all of that, I just feel is being put to rest. We have the 2 swords here. And I'm getting this energy. This is my card, like it's the 6 of Swords represents for me rowing, like you've got the rough water here, and then you've got the calm water here. And this is about, okay, it's been turbulent in the past in my love life and that, but now I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to be in that place. I don't have that desire to be with other people. I have a desire more to settle down, not settle, but settle down. And this energy is rowing off to calm waters with God. So this is this soulmate energy with the lovers. This energy altogether is a divine gift. The truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. I'm saying it again because it's coming in very strongly. This is ordained. This is destiny. Sometimes soulmates do meet. Sometimes twin flames do get together and they live happily ever after. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, and this card represents going inward and having reflected, putting the swords down, like just, you know, going into meditative prayer. This is in a church, so this person is just, this stained glass window has the word Pax on it, which represents peace. This person is totally at peace of mind. Rowing off to calmer waters with God was a good idea. And it's required strength. I'm getting part of the overthinking of it and that. Perhaps this is a family, like the energy is coming from a family where there's a lot of divorce or fighting and arguing between the parents, that kind of energy, and not ever wanting to repeat that, but having the courage to do it in your own way, in a strong way, with a strong partner, and have it kind of well thought out is what's coming, and then be at peace with that and move forward. Because the Strength card represents your heart. This row, like here we have the what you need, the obstacles, the manifestation, how you go about it, and now we have your heart's desires. So this is something you've wanted as a child, like maybe growing up you thought, I want to get be with someone. I want to want to be with them, and I want to get along with them, and I want them to be my friend as well as my lover, and I want to heal the pain from my childhood of not having that growing up is what I'm getting. So the lion represents the fears and facing them, like, because it takes a lot of courage. And that's what this row is about, having the courage to be able to manifest your heart's desires. And that's that infinity symbol above the head. So this is a step that, yeah, it's going in the right direction. And then this is about multitasking, and it also can be about juggling. So I'm getting a lot of times when people have this much lucrative, this lucrative, they have this successful of a business or whatever, they put love on hold and focus on the pentacles and getting that in order. And that's kind of the energy here. And I'm also saying, wanting to have that strong foundation. Perhaps when you were a child, the energy that your parents fought over was money, which in 90% of the cases it is. If it's not on money, it's juggling love, like juggling partners in marriage. Two things that'll end a marriage for sure, or cause problems that might end a marriage, are money and cheating, like juggling two people, Yeah, the sneaky energy. And so this is just saying that this has been something that this person or you have thought about a lot. And if you ever get married, you want to be confident. And you see how these two swords, when you go off and you're going off to calmer waters, there's two here also. And there's also this person, and this sometimes can represent you and your inner child being healed, and that you've done the work, and that's why now you're ready. And it's kind of like this energy can talk about playfulness or thievery. It can go either way. It's a walking contradiction. He's looking back at the past. This might be his parents that he's looking at, and how he is now going to take those thoughts and he's going to do it differently. He's moving forward but looking back. So it's something, the energy is okay, and this is not the way. I'm not going to repeat this cycle from my childhood. I'm not going to juggle those things. I'm not going to get married until I have the strong foundation, until I have the money and the lifestyle that I want, and then I will go after love, because that's what all the fighting was always about. Yeah, and then the devil comes up here. Boom. And that's what I'm getting. That's the childhood fear. And this is about temptation, because sometimes when we're in that energy of not being satisfied in our lives, we're married or we have a partner, it's really easy to juggle the responsibility and say, it's all their fault. Like, I should have married someone else, and that kind of energy. And sometimes you have to dig really deep. And that's what this energy here is saying, because you notice that the conveyor here has got this pole, and this pole has to dig deep into the water to push the boat forward. That's how it's moving. So sometimes you have to dig deep within yourself so that you don't give in to temptation and ruin a good thing. When the devil comes up in my readings, I always cover the devil, because you're not going to get the truth from the devil. It's temptation, and the devil's not going to tempt you with like, oh, I'm going to put this beautiful man or woman in front of you and just have this one night stand. You'll see what it's like, and then, they'll never find out, and they won't care. Even if they did, they don't care about you, that kind of energy. So what's coming up is like this, now we've got the Page of Pentacles, and I'm getting that sometimes God steps in and sends a message from above. And this card can sometimes represent the never-ending nightmare is ending, because you receive enlightenment from the Holy Spirit in the middle of the night. And in the wee hours of the morning, a lot of times we'll wake up from dreams or whatever and get clarity. And this is like reminding you of how this is the energy of what you want, and you have the strength to have that. And you wouldn't want that in your marriage. That's not how you want to carry yourself. And that would be like, you wouldn't be cheating on your partner, you'd be cheating on your dream, on yourself. In some instances, people don't want that as a dream, but I'm just getting whoever you are that's resonating with this, that's what you want. And so the Hermit is all about going to the top of the mountain and meditating. Again, it's coming up. And getting clarity on how you want to do it and why you want to do it and all those reasons. And when you have that enlightenment, you're ready to come down from the mountain and you're ready to put it into being. And you'll notice like the staff that the hermit's holding now, that he's been up on the mountain meditating with God, his staff is actually gold in color, because that forward movement, the action that represents, is enlightenment from the Most High. Saying again that this is ordained, and here we have a whole new world, like a different world from how you grew up or what your perception of what having a partner or marriage was supposed to be, and being able to do it in your own way. This is talking about the end of a cycle, as this is talking about the end, coming to the end of a cycle. So this energy is saying it's a whole new world, and we're moving into 2026. And it's interesting because the energy right now, the Hermit is number 9 actually, and the energy of the world is like, this is at the end of a cycle. 2025 adds up to 9, and 2026 adds up to 10, which it reduces down to 1, and 1 represents like a new cycle beginning. And that's what the world card represents, the end of a cycle and moving forward in a new way of being, which marriage and children would be. And then we have the Emperor. Yeah, so the Emperor is coming in, and that's this is all 4 kings rolled into one person. They're wise, they're confident, they're able to manifest, they're able to bring down their thoughts down to earth and make that happen. They're good at abundance, and like they have all the qualities of all the 4 kings. They're in control of their emotions. They're in control of their their impulses. And so this energy, and the Emperor always has his armor on underneath his robe. Like he's sitting back and he's relaxed, but in a moment's notice, he will take action if he needs to, because the Emperor is all about performance. Yeah, end of cycle, it's coming up again. I was wondering if that card would come up. So yeah, this energy here, this is just saying this is an end of a cycle here. The Emperor is here now. Those thoughts are done. That worry, that concern is done. It's time to just move on. You're in a new world. It's the end of the cycle. And as I said, like 2026, that adds up to 10. End of cycle, time to start a whole new world. That's for everybody. And this is, the competition was fierce. So yeah, like if you're an Emperor, there's a lot of people. And remember, the Emperor could be a woman in her masculine energy or a man in their masculine energy, as can all the archetypes here. So this is talking about competition, and this person, of course, they're highly sought after. They've got lots of money, they've got all 4 kings rolled into one. They're charismatic, they're mature, but they still have youthful exuberance. Of course, they're highly desired. And I'm getting right here the disappointments in the past. The universe is giving a new wand. It's saying like all of this competition energy and having to like fight for what you want, and all of that energy, being stabbed in the back and left for dead, and being like laying there. This card quite often is a blessing in disguise. So I'm just getting that this is confirming that, and you notice it's like the 4 of coin here with the 4. It's going back to this underlying energy, and it's saying if you've had like 3 other times where you've been disappointed in love, where you almost got married or whatever, that now this new cup is different. This is what you've been waiting for. And we have from going from the bottom up to the top and back down again. In the past, there's like, I'm getting that an Emperor is someone who's very successful, And so you've been successful for a long time, and maybe you were focusing on the coin, but now you just couldn't see, you couldn't find the person that you wanted to be with. It just didn't work out. And you were getting kind of stressed out about it, feeling lonely, I'm getting, and feeling like this is the one thing that's really missing in my life that I always wanted ever since I was a kid. And was it worth it to focus so much on the pentacles? Maybe I shouldn't have focused that much on the pentacles, you know? Because in a way, when you think about it, if you made a decision when you were young, okay, I'm going to focus on the pentacles so that before I focus on love, so that I have what I want. Maybe you missed a bunch of opportunities because you were so focused on the pentacles. And so this is about going inward and really being able to face all that and decide, okay, now this is what I want. Like, and it's like there's no competition here. It's like it's not this energy of that you have to fight for it anymore. You don't have to be like the wounded warrior and battle for it. It's yours for the taking because you've done the work and you deserve it. And the universe and God are saying, here you go. No more disappointment. That cycle is over. You're an emperor now. And you are an emperor because you have faced your fears from childhood and you're willing to do that. You did the shadow work so that you would be able to have a happy outcome and be have peace of mind, have the love of your life. And that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. I love it. That's an awesome energy here. And if you're enjoying this, I'm just going to grab them this way. My cards are being, like really stubborn. I'm going to take this card to clarify because my oracle cards are really jumpy and they jump out, and that's who wants to be. Okay. So the energy to clarify this underlying energy is the shooting star. So I'm going to go back to what I was saying before that, but the card just jumped out of my deck and I couldn't pick it up right away. So this is about having a good attitude. This strong foundation is like it makes all your wishes come true, because your attitude will get you there. That's good. That's good advice. What I was saying was, I just want to give these cards a shuffle while I'm talking here, just to pick up this energy here. If you're enjoying this reading, then please do like and comment. I really appreciate it because it helps me build my channel. And I'm using the Tales from the Vector Oracle that I was working on since 2007. I'm an artist. This is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I was inspired to do 64 paintings, and some of them are very large dragons with crystals, etc. I've had a lot of fun doing them. I have all the paintings done now, and I'm gathering the information. My cards have been out, but they weren't all done. And I've had them out at psychic fairs and, working with people. But now I'm wanting to work with them in a bigger way so I can write up the information that goes with them. I have the numbers of the paintings written on these cards. And in the description box below, I will have them in the order that they appear here. If you want to check it out, you can go to talesfromthevector.com. That's TAILS fromthevector.com. So here we go. We're ready. Indifference is a karmic space that we're all in it together, and a work in progress. So yeah, that's what this is saying. Just confirming that. So indifference is a karmic space that we can fall into when we don't care about the suffering of others. I'm getting that this is more about being indifferent. You can also be indifferent to improving yourself. And I'm getting that's not the case here. And like, this is not a pipe dream. This is like something you've been wishing for since you were a child, and you've worked towards being responsible. Okay, so that having the ambition to be able to go after what you want. This is strong. When Capricorn energy is strong, they're in this energy of being responsible, ambitious, and looking at challenges in their life as possibilities recognizing that quite often possibilities are disguised as challenges. And actually, when it's challenging, you may have noticed sometimes when it's challenging to get what you want, it makes it even that much more satisfying when you have what you want. And so another karmic space is the road to like intent, like what are your intentions? And so it could be the case that you did miss out on some opportunities because you were so focused on the dollar. And it's kind of funny, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but it's kind of funny that your intention was to not repeat the pattern that your parents had, but your parents were fighting over money and you lost out on opportunities possibly because of your fight within about money. We quite often we grow up and we think, I'm not going to do it like my parents do. And then when you really look at it, you're like, oh, I'm just like them in some ways. And that's good because sometimes, there's nothing wrong with being like your parents if they're strong. So this toddler energy, this is about learning to give and take. And so this is that give and take in life. Like if you put all your time into this, then you don't have time for that. If if you give all your money away to people that are indifferent to you, you're probably going to not end up with a lot of money, that kind of energy. And so it's knowing when to give, when to take, and being able to receive. When you get a gift from the universe, being ready to receive it because you've put the work in. And then we have the karmic space of pride, which is also, this is about being in the situation where we're too proud to look at our mistakes or and that lion, lions have a pride when they have family. And a lot of people are just not willing to do the work that's required to have this satisfaction in the end. But as I said before, like if you have challenges in your face and you work through them, it is very satisfying and it makes the prize even that much better. And it requires patience. And that's temperance on temperance. So this is saying that having this devotion to your life purpose, having this devotion to being your best version of yourself and not selling yourself short, not settling instead of settling down. You want to settle down with the person you love, but you don't want to settle when you're doing that. So this is about having devotion to your life path and to having like that feeling in your heart where you know that you deserve this and you're willing to wait for it, even though sometimes it feels like it's never going to come, having the faith that it will. And then the Hierophant is about traditional structure. So this, it could be for, quite often, like traditional structure talks about you have to put the work in to be able to get the structure out of it. But remember the King of Swords also is saying work smart, not hard. And so learning that lesson also, and I'm getting all that this energy on the lovers and this energy is someone that is in that position where they want a lifelong partner, and they want the marriage or that traditional structure that may or may not be how you feel about it. So it doesn't have to be that way. It's just saying that's part of it. And then we have the Pisces energy, the authority coming in here. Being able to, again, like Pisces energy is like the senior executive. It's the 12th sign in the zodiac. And it's about, having, are you going to sink or are you going to swim? And it's about being willing to go deep. And the energy is like the further you go down in the ocean, the darker and colder it gets. And so it's kind of like having the ability to do that, like being willing to go deep within your fears. I used to scuba dive, and I was out living in Australia at the time. And like I got my ticket and went out into the barrier reef, and it was absolutely beautiful. But when you went really deep, sometimes it was really scary too. And there was a lot of sharks around that area where I lived, where we, like in the barrier reef, you know. So it was kind of, and I felt like I'd never thought I would ever scuba dive, but I loved it. It was amazing. But it really, I was shocked by how cold that it got. You could feel it as you went down further and further. It would be like a line almost, you know, in the water. And that's the energy I'm getting. Like, okay, I've gone this deep. Okay, the next dive, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. That kind of energy. And the scotoma, this card has been coming up a lot. It's in a lot of my readings, and I just feel like a lot of us right now are feeling this energy. It's kind of, a scotoma is when you can't see the whole picture, like no matter which angle you look at it. And I feel like that's because we're in kind of a new way of being. We just moved from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, like around 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And it's a slow process. And like, that's that feeling of a fish being out of water energy, because the Piscean energy has been in place for like, you know, I can't remember exactly how long it is, but it's like well over, like, I think almost like 2,000 years, or I can't remember right now. But this is saying that we're in the age of Aquarius now, and we're moving from 2025 into 2026. And I don't know, 2025 has been a crazy busy month or year. Like, it's just been like one thing after another kind of energy. And it's like, oh, okay, now I got to learn this. Now I got to learn that. Now I got, you know, it's that kind of energy, because nothing's the same as it was. We have all this AI out there that everybody was talking about, but all of a sudden, bang, it just seems like it's here. All of a sudden, AI is staring us in the face, right? And we also have the Leo energy coming out here. So when I get a lot of signs like this in a general reading, I'm looking at them more as like the stage of life and the state of being, like for everybody. Now, for you personally, there may be some people that this is bringing up for you. Trust that intuition. But for general collective purposes, this is more about the state of being that energy is in. And the Leo energy is kind of the energy of a teenage boy, really like wanting, like really enthusiastic and going after it, going after what they want, and or sitting back and playing video games. You know what I mean? Like, it can be back and forth like that. But Leo energy is people like that energy. If you know some Leos, they usually have a head full of hair, like a lion, a lot of hair, and they have a lot of confidence, and they can come off as being arrogant sometimes. When they lack confidence, they tend to fill that up with pride, right? The Leos, they really embrace that lion energy. And so this energy sometimes is of thinking with their small head rather than their large head. So this energy is just coming, and I'm just getting like, if you're not ready to have a family yet, like, make sure you take care of that, because you don't want to have a pride of little lion cubs because you were thinking you weren't leading, you were following, you know. And then comes the Lovers, yeah. So we're talking about when you get to the stage of marriage. That's like you go from Leo, and then you go to Virgo, and then you go to Libra. And by the time you're in Libra energy, you're generally at this marriage, like where you're mature enough to get married and be able to make it work if you have that energy. So we have the Lovers coming up again. So this is, definitely, like, I feel like there's potential here for a really beautiful romance. And then we have harmony. So that's what this row is about. It's about speaking your truth. And so if you love someone, speak up and tell them, let them know. And, use your words to create harmony. That's something that the King of Swords knows, that you can use words as weapons, or you can use words as like, peace offerings, like that kind of energy. So creating harmony through your words. And some people call that singing, depending on how good your voice is, I guess. And so we have the Aries coming in, and this energy is coming in like babies on the way kind of energy. And this also, but this is also sitting on this energy of new. And so again, this is about, are you going to be who, like, are you going to do what you need to do to be who you want to be? That's the energy. The Aries is the infant. Babies come in and they're very demanding, and they need to be because they rely on their caregivers. But babies don't worry about the steps of action to take. They just develop, like one day they're sitting, they start to smile, and then they babble, and then they're all of a sudden they're able to sit up, and then they're able to crawl, and then they're walking. And before you know it, at a year old, they're a walking, talking, toddling machine, And so it's just natural to want to progress and to become better, to become the best you can be. And yeah, and then we have at the very top, that's a beautiful way to end the reading, is if you're an emperor, it's saying, and you're in this process, this could be the past, you've already found your empress, and she's all four queens rolled into one, so you're a really strong couple. And you've also got the twin flame energy here, soulmate energy. So it was good that you didn't settle. It might have taken you a while, but it's you didn't settle, and you're getting exactly what you dreamed of as a younger person. If you were going to put yourself in a position to be married, you may as well do it with the love of your life, right? And so the Empress is also just as a warning here, because I'm getting this. If you're not wanting to have babies, this energy is very baby oriented, like producing. The Emperor produces. Leo energy has that same energy, and we've got the baby infant coming in, and the Empress is pregnant with possibilities, and one of those possibilities is being actually pregnant. Just to let you know. So I've really enjoyed this reading. I hope you've also enjoyed it. If you have, please do like, comment. It really helps me build my channel. And if you resonate, do consider subscribing to the channel. I would love to have you join the channel in that way. This is the reading for today. I will have another reading for you tomorrow. Bye for now.